And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock God Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning and welcome back. Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Pete Gray here along with Rock God Rick Maxa. We have Doug Kern.
Yeah.
Right here from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. We're talking all kinds of good stuff and lots of fun talking tackle here on Southern California Sport Fishing Voice. Right in the heart of sport fishing here, which there's bluefin tuna on the dock right now.
There are bluefin closer than 100 yards from us right now.
Yeah.
How good does that
How about
feel?
that, huh? And lots of good rock cod fishing down in Colonet and down south. And
and I want to mention something too. We always gloss over it, but the half-day fishing right now is phenomenal. The Dolphin had 89 nice big sand bass yesterday morning. They had 65 in the afternoon. The weather's been spectacular the last couple of days.
Wow.
And, we kind of gloss over it, but I saw the half-day.
That's good sand bass fishing.
Big time.
Yes. And
that's like old days.
Yes. And, I saw the boat leaving this morning, and I don't know, they had a pretty good crowd. And if you can get out on a weekday and get on some of that, with 20 guys or 15 guys on a 90-foot boat, I mean, that's such an easy and fun thing to do. And, the tuna are pinnacle. But,
but, hey, half day, we all grew up on a half-day boat, right?
Yeah, you're not catching
now, when you're catching that many, and sand bass, fun fishing.
That's legit fishing right there.
Yeah, that's really legit fishing, yeah. Well, as you can hear, I have a great show lined up for you, and we're giving away a fantastic prize,
Man,
too.
you're not
kidding. You want to get through on the phones. One line open.
You're not kidding. If you didn't catch the beginning of the show, such a rad prize today for one lucky caller or one lucky texter. We're going to be giving away a full-day trip on board the Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing. You're going to get to go full-day fishing with Captain Taro, Captain Nebel, and you're going to win 2 tickets to the PCS show. We've been talking about it all morning, coming up at the OC Fairgrounds in Costa Mesa, March 7th through the 10th. If you want to get through in the phones, it's been an incredibly busy morning, always is with Doug. But the phone number, 213-432-1090, or text the show. So many great texts coming through. And again, texting the show only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. Make sure when you send that text that it's got your contact info in case you win that big prize at the end of the show. We want to make sure to get it to you.
Speaking of Bill DePriest and the PCS show, here he is, Mr. Bill DePriest.
Hey, how's it going? Good morning, Doug.
Sport Fishing Festival. Hey, what's up, Bill?
Hey, Bill.
How you doing? Good morning, Pete.
Great.
How we doing?
Doing awesome. We're getting really excited. It's getting
I'm
very,
sure
very
you
close.
are.
What a grind this must be, man. We're winding down to the big day, and I know you mentioned it's the biggest ever, and man, we can't wait, Bill.
Yeah, we're still, by moving the boat displays out and being able to get almost 100 new 10x10s into the buildings, I'm just honestly blown away at how many companies there are in our industry that want to be involved. I have no clue there were this many. It's been pretty exciting.
That's rad.
That's so cool. And, of course, it starts a week from this Thursday, right? So March 7th. And so tell us, you talked about last week about some of the great things that we can see. What are some of the highlights that people, saltwater anglers, it's such a great saltwater show for anglers. What are some of the highlights for saltwater anglers in your eyes?
There's some amazing specials, obviously. Shimano's bringing their full reel repair setup, which hasn't been at shows in a long time. The Nomad Mad Max, they're coming out with a custom color again that's just going to be sold at our show. There's going to be a new reel from Daiwa that's going to be announced next week. That'll be the first time sold in the U.S. from what I know. And then this Berkeley Spectra deal, that's any new reel sold from a participating dealer over $50 of any brand is going to get up to 500 yards of Spectra at no charge. So I don't think that's ever been done anywhere.
How crazy is that? I mean, that's insane.
I've never seen anything like that ever. I mean, it's just mind-boggling, and I kind of want to take my my folding chair and set it up and watch those guys get their butt kicked for 4 days winding line, because we've been there.
Bill, I can tell you, Doug and I and our crew, we have chuckled about it because we know what it's like to have some serious Spectra to wine, tackle days and other promotions. And
Friday night in August.
I think exactly. I think the promotion is fantastic. I can't wait. It's such a rad deal. I think they have no idea what they're in for in the best way possible. It's going to be wild.
Now, once again, what's the promotion?
We hear that from all of our tackle dealers, the same thing. They all want to see how this is going to go down.
Yeah.
They have offered anybody, it's just in the Berkeley booth, anybody that buys a reel at the show over $50.
Any reel,
any brand.
Any reel from any manufacturer.
And then you bring it over there with the receipt. They will fill it with up to 500 yards of Berkeley braided line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shimano, Daiwa, Penn, whatever.
So if there are 1,000 reels sold at this show, they got to fill 1,000 reels.
Holy mackerel. That's going to be a busy booth. Yeah, for sure. Now, of course, you have some great boat dealers. Of course, now I have a question. West Coast Marine, Parker Boats, did they get that new 24 Parker in time?
I don't know yet. I don't know.
It's coming.
I've not talked to them this week, but I can tell you they have one of the biggest displays in the entire show right when you come in.
Wow.
That's
nice.
So cool.
Fantastic. And so many boats available, and those are all going to be outside, right?
Yeah, we have a pavilion, and then promenade, and then the entire center of the fairgrounds is all loaded with boat dealers, all fishing boats, everything from small aluminums all the way up to multi-million-dollar Freemans, Everglades. I mean, just about everything you could think of.
Wow.
That's so cool. That's going to be cool just to check.
Multi-million-dollar outboard-powered boat.
I just can't wait to
wrap your head around that,
When's the last time you've got to go check out a Freeman, a brand new one, and just to see all the high-end fish-killing center consoles next to each other? This is going to be so cool, Bill.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the spread of variety there, we have a couple of big spearfish shops there. And as far as travel trips, everything from Panama, Alaska, all over the entire country and outside the country, all the way to Africa. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we talked about Bob and Charmel from Katmai Lodge, one of our favorite places, is going to be there, and they'll be on the show next Saturday, of course, talking about that beautiful place. And like you say, lots of travel destination. Valerie from Queen Charlotte Safaris, of course, one of Bill and my favorite people will be there. And of course, smiling and talking about Queen Charlotte Safaris, and so much more. The other thing too, you mentioned the seminars.
My God.
Seminars from people you don't normally hear from. Brandon Hayward, Dwayne Diego.
How about Lasley?
Yeah, Steve Lasley doing a seminar, right?
the Pelikia, unreal.
Yeah, Carl from Air Pelikia, which is the eye in the sky, which I don't think he's ever spoken before. But the amount of water he's covered goes greatly beyond just about any captain you could ever hear from. He's covering hundreds of miles a day.
How about just the amount that he has frothed every one of us up with his amazing photography? I mean, every single person, every single day pulls out their phone. Did you see the picture that they posted today of this foamer or this? This. It's going to be so cool. The lineup is so impressive.
Yeah, for sure. So,
and the increase in freshwater tackle and freshwater brands and freshwater swim baits. And, seminars by some of the top big bass guys, Oliver and a bunch of different guys. So the freshwater side is definitely growing rapidly. So if you're a freshwater angler, you're going to want to come out as well. It's a very large spread of freshwater stuff along with the saltwater.
Well, that sounds great. Okay, so when is it, Bill, and how do we get there, and what's the story?
From March 7th through the 10th, it's at the OC Fair and Event Center, which is right off the 55 at Fair Drive. One block and you're in the parking lot. It's super easy. Parking's only $12, which I think is less than any other venue in California that I know of. You can go on the website, sportfishingfestival.com. You can push on buy tickets. You can buy your tickets ahead of time on Eventbrite there, and then you can kind of skip the line in the purchasing. But if you do get there right at open, there's going to be a large line of people. There is every year. If you don't like to stand in a line, I would recommend coming maybe 30, 45 minutes after opening.
And it opens at noon on Thursday the 7th.
Yep. Thursday, Friday, noon to 7. Saturday is 10 to 7. And Sunday is 10 to 5.
Great. Bill DePriest, great job.
Yeah,
You're doing a fantastic job. Freshwater, isn't that something you drink?
Yeah.
Oh, you can fish in it
Water
too?
skiing in.
Really? Yeah.
But we deal with so many saltwater fishermen, and they a lot of them are hardcore freshwater guys too.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
It's kind of,
I'm just joking. I just came back from freshwater fishing. So
yeah. Well, tap water. That's
it's it. Yeah.
You would.
For sure. Hey, Bill, thanks a lot for everything. And
the only thing I can say is the support of the industry and all of our vendors and all of the sport boat landings and all of the sport boat owners that are joining us, the show would not be where it's at with all of their support, and we're just very thankful.
All right. Thanks, Bill. Thanks for doing that. Great job. And we'll talk to you before the show for sure. And PCS show coming up March 7th at the Orange County Fairgrounds.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
All right, great. Hey, phones are packed. They want to talk to Doug, so let's jump into it.
You got it. How about this time we talk to John? John called us from Escondido this morning. Hi, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. And some of the things you already answered, stuff like that, but something that I don't really have in my quiver of stuff is like a 9-foot jig stick to throw on those yellowtails when I go down on a 7-day on the RP. But I was also wondering, are you going to have any jigging rods there? And what about your electronic reels?
Yep.
Like speed jigging.
We're going to have all of that. So let's start with the 9-foot rod. And, super traditional Southern California rod has always been a CalStar 90J. And in particular, I kind of like that GG. It's a little bit thinner and lighter weight. And it's the full legit 90J action. And then you can do a traditional like a Trinidad or a Torium, star drag reel, like a 20 size, or you can go with the Tranx 500, which has become really popular for surface iron fishing. With the Tranx, when you turn the handle, it clicks into gear, so you don't have to throw it into gear manually. It also has a level wind, which is hugely important with surface iron fishing. If you don't put your line back on perfectly level and you build up a little pile in the middle, that's how you start getting backlashes. That would be your surface iron rig. And yes, the vertical jigging, let's call it, some people call it slow pitch, speed jigging, whatever you want to call it. It can be from, really light gear for rockfish and smaller fish on up to 200 plus pound tuna. We will have all of that. One reel manufacturer that we are super excited to work with, they're going to be in close proximity to us, and we will have all their models. That's the Maxim reels. Maxell. I almost called them Maxa reels because I'm looking right at Rick over here.
That'll be a couple years down the road.
And I got derailed. But anyway, the Maxell reels. And then we have several brands of vertical jigging type rods. We have the knowledge now to be able to outfit you properly for whichever situation you're in. Like I say, from light stuff to medium tuna to heavy tuna and that kind of thing. And then what was the third question? The electric reels. Yeah. So we have Shimano and Daiwa, all the models there, from the smaller reels on up to the bigger reels, from the mid-price to the high dollar ones. So it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing kite fishing, if you're doing sword fishing,
rock cod fish, deep water rock cod.
Deep water rock cod. That's become super popular now that we're fishing the deep water again. Yeah. So we've got a good variety of those, and we can figure out what's best for your situation. So stop by the booth and talk to myself or one of the guys, and we'll get you set up on all of that.
I'm going to throw in something here while you're talking about electric reels for deep water cotton. Is one of our great sponsors, North Lithium, sent me. I want to do it on my little boat here. Sent me a It's a 14.8 volt, 15 amp lithium ion battery, includes the charger, right? 15 amp hour. That's a lot of charge. And he says, you fish when you can do hundreds of drops. Well, maybe not hundreds, but dozens of drops with that. It weighs 2.7 pounds.
Crazy.
So basically, you put it in a little fanny pack on your butt, and you have the reel in your hand, and you walk around the boat with this lithium-ion battery with your electric reel, and everybody's going, I need one of those.
Yeah,
that's right. When you're fishing 600, 700 feet.
Yeah, it's changed the game.
Right?
That's cool.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Hopefully, we can get him out here to be in the PCS show next year. But yeah. So
John has a very cool custom jigging rod, a United Composites 6005 at the shop right now. So if you're looking for a reel for that thing, John, this PCS show is the time to do it for sure.
Well, I know that rod's on our inventory list too. So
is it on sale?
It's on sale.
Oh my gosh!
Usually we say
you have this list. It looks like a book of all the stuff that's on sale.
Usually we say it's for sale. This time it's on sale.
Gotta love that. Hey, John, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Norman in San Diego says, great show as usual. Here's a question for the tackle guru Doug. Inline versus offset point. Is there a difference for hookup success? Live bait hooks are offered with inline or offset points. In your experience, does an offset point offer any measurable advantage for hook success?
Great question.
Yep. I am a big fan of offset hooks. I think you get a better hookup ratio. And the only time that I would use the inline hooks typically would be in a tournament situation where they don't allow an offset. The offset hook can sometimes hook a fish down a little deeper. Circle hooks, we always say it hooks them in the corner of the mouth, which 95% of the time is true. But if a fish is going to get gut hooked or hooked a little deeper, it's going to be with an offset hook. But when we're fishing tuna and other species that we're planning on keeping and taking home and eating, I think you get a better hookup ratio with the offset. So there are non-offset hooks. We hardly sell any except for like the marlin tournament hooks, and back east they do sailfish tournaments and that type of thing.
Sure is a lot easier to get your bait pinned on.
Yes.
With the trend going to smaller and smaller and smaller hooks these days, Gamakatsu making the Nautilus in 2s and 4s and those small stealthy bluefin hooks, it sure is easier to put your bait on. You're not, manhandling your bait too bad before you get your hook on it and get into the water.
Such
with that
a good
offset.
point. Yep.
Yeah. And offsets are made in both circle hooks as well as J hooks.
They are, but you don't see very many J hooks that way.
No, they're mostly
because when that thing's open like that, you're going to get a hookup, and a lot of times that J hook will hook the fish deeper. However, if you don't swing and you just turn the handle on a J hook the same as you would on a circle hook, you'd be surprised how many times you hook it right in the corner of the mouth, which is eliminating some of the abrasion on your line.
Okay.
That's what you want. That's a big part of why we use circle hooks.
All right. Very good.
All right. Hey, with that said, we're going to find out what's going on the water. It's time for our FishDope.com report with Dave Hansen, your saltwater guide. Today, that catch report is sponsored by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you get the premier processing experience. Check out the brand new and easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. Now, with the addition of new team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest with more same-day capacity, the finest customer service. You can stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com and be sure to make those reservations today. We got them standing by. Good morning, Dave Hansen.
Hey, Rick, Doug, Pete, good morning. Thanks for having me on the show today. Oh, my gosh. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, Rick, and those of you that didn't get your tackle ready in time, well, here they are. The blue, they're here. And then, like Willie was saying, we got the sheephead opening up in a couple of days, so there's going to be coverage all over the place now. So I would think they're going to be in the usual spots, 43 behind Clemente, all those places where no one's looked in the last 6 months, or 5 months, whatever it's been. But they're here. we knew they didn't leave. But get ready, Doug, because everyone's coming to Fisherman's Landing to get line on their reels.
It just had that feel this week, and I just kind of hoped and knew that they were going to score. And, that water's cold, so it's not the wide open bite yet, but, it just tells you they're here and they're biting. I've been wanting to say something to you. My wife and I love going to Dana Point. We go up there and have lunch and whatever, and every time I see the sign with your dad's name on it, welcoming you to the harbor, it just gives you such a good feeling after knowing him all those years. And so I've been wanting to mention that to you in this first chance I've had.
Thank you, Doug. Yeah, that's pretty spectacular. It does bring a tear to my eye every single time someone sends me a picture when they drive in the harbor.
Yep.
That says a lot right there for the legacy of that man. And they're finally, I'm going to talk a little bit off fishing thing, but they're finally building the parking tower that he worked for 50 years to get that parking tower made in Dana Point Harbor. And they broke ground on it a week and a half ago, and my sister and my brother and I are just so happy they finally are doing it. It's a much needed thing down there in the harbor.
Yeah, we were there a week ago, and I said, "Oh, there's the equipment, and they've got it all staged up over there in the parking lot where you go on the Catalina Express." So
that'll be a game changer for parking at Dana Point.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It'll be such a nice thing because, when it's busy, July, August, and everybody's there, it's kind of tough to get a parking space. My dad fought for that for years, so it's a big deal, and I know he's looking down pretty happy.
I can't imagine what that must be like. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah, we don't have boats like you guys have in Fisherman, but we have a few there at Dana Wharf. We have 12.
I love the fleet there. We sit at the Wind and Sea, and we watch the Dana Pride and the Some Fun and the whale boats coming in and going out, and the Current and all of them, and it's such a special place up there.
Yes, it is. That's for sure, Doug. Real quick, I want to just talk fishing real quick. Catalina's very, very good right now. Really good halibut fishing. There's still some squid, middle backside. There's really good calico bass fishing. And then I got a call this morning. Redondo Beach bait barge guy called me up and told me the bonita are biting wide open in the harbor in Redondo right now.
Sweet.
So it's pretty spectacular. But the big deal, Kelly Girl's super excited. We're coming to the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show. We'll be there, the whole entourage. We got a beautiful giant booth right there next to the stage. And 445, 446 is our booth right next to the stage. You won't be able to miss us. And Kelly Girl's super excited to come up and see everybody and say hi to everybody. It's going to be the show. And then I'm stoked I'm by the stage, Rick, because I get to listen to Carl talk.
Hey.
I want to hear what Carl has to say. No one's ever heard him talk.
Isn't this going to be cool? I can't wait. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm hoping that I can sneak away. Just think of the things that guy has seen from the airplane, and all the it's going to be awesome. What a rad little spiel seminar, whatever you call it. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
it's going to be insane. I love Steve. Steve's my buddy. I can call him every day. He'll talk to me. But I call Carl, and you don't get a lot of words out of Carl.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty spectacular.
It's going to be great to see you, Dave. And, of course, fishdope.com will be there, too. $30 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code Hookup Now. Lowercase, no space, Hookup Now is your $30 code at fishdope.com. And, Dave, other than the PCS show, how do we find you?
Well, I'm kind of active on social media. You might see me. I'm your saltwater guide. I have kind of put a couple videos up every couple of minutes. So you can see me on your saltwater guide on every social media platform, gang. I'm hard not to see. And I will see everybody at the show, but I'll talk to you guys next Sunday. And then it's time to fly up to Southern California.
Yeah, and I might mention, too, because I forgot to mention, next Sunday, Bill DePriest will be here in the world headquarters talking more about the show. So Bill will be here when you call us next Sunday, and we'll talk a lot about the PCS show next Sunday right here on Let's Talk Hookup.
We're going to have Mike Bond also.
It'll be fun. He's my buddy.
We've been.
I think we should have the tag team.
You think Bond's going to come, too?
Yeah, I'm issuing the challenge right now.
Okay, all right. We'll throw it out.
Also, yeah.
All right, Bond, if you're listening.
I completely agree. It's unanimous.
Plan your day. You and Bill better come.
Okay.
You're coming.
Yeah. All right.
Make sure that's out there.
All right. Sounds good, Dave, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
All right, you guys, thanks for letting me be on the show. See you later. Bye.
All right.
All
Cool.
right. Hey, I had a great text come through. It says, I just got my Tranks 500 spooled with 80-pound Max Quattro at Fisherman's Landing last week and really appreciate the great service and available inventory. There was tons of Spectra options. The boys went through everything, and we settled on Max Quattro. If a person shows up for a 1 to 3 day trip and needs hooks/jigs, what are a few of the must-have items that Doug would recommend? Super excited to see Tune on the local reports. That's from Dave in San Diego.
Yeah, well, we've had variety-style fishing where we might have live bait fishing or small jig fishing for that, 30 to 50-pound stuff. There's been a lot of that, I guess it would be, the third-year fish, like that 70, 80, maybe 100-pound fish. And then, the pinnacle of this whole bluefin thing is the nighttime jig fishing, for targeting that 140, 200, even occasional 300-pounder. So you do have to bring a variety. So make sure that you have a good live bait rod with braided line, and be prepared to put top shots on there anywhere from 25 to 40-pound test. You really sometimes have to adjust on the water to what's going on. So multiple outfits is going to be important. Small hooks is probably the biggest key for that live bait fishing. And then when you get the school-size surface fishing that wants to bite some kind of a jig, you can use surface iron. You can use a lot of that 150 to 200 gram, vertical jigs, darts, snipers, whatever you want to call them. Make sure that you change out your hooks. We do that on all of our jigs. We put the owner T6061 hooks on there. Just because, you might be pulling a little harder on that stuff. And if you can get bit on, like, say, 60-pound test, 50, 60, even 80-pound test on some of that jig-type fishing. And then when you go for the big boys, you got to use your larger 2-speed reels, but still something that free spools. So a Talica 20, Talica 25 is perfect. And you're going to fill that with probably 100-pound test braided line, and then you put a 200-pound leader on those big knife jigs for the abrasion and the chafing. So a minimum of 3 to 4 outfits, and literally spanning from that 25-pound test all the way up to 100-pound test. And if you have more than that, it's nice to have multiple outfits. You might want to have 2 live bait outfits, a 25 and a 40 all rigged ready to go. The 40 you might be able to throw a jig out there on, but that's where maybe your Tranks comes into handy. So you use your 2-speed, for your live bait fishing, unless it's super finicky, and then you got to go to a star drag type reel. So what I would recommend is you can call us before you go on your trip, or stop in before you get on the boat, bring multiple outfits, and then we can let you know what's been going on currently. And then once you're out there, be prepared to make some adjustments.
There you go. Thanks a lot for that. Let's jump back on the phones.
You got it, man. How about this time we talk to Daniel? He's calling us from Rancho Cucamonga. Daniel, good morning. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, Daniel. How you doing?
I have a question. Good. Thank you for asking. I have a question for you, Doug. I just got the new Talica 12A, and I'm looking to get a new rod for that reel. But I'm looking for something between 7 and 7.5 feet, not longer than that.
Yep. What always comes to my mind when you say something like that, you got a nice Talica 12. Obviously, you're going to be putting some Spectra line on there. There's not going to be a ton of stretch. I like that 875H as a starting point. It's a 7.5-foot rod. It's probably about a 50-pound rod. Not talking about your Spectra, but talking about whatever your top shot is that you're going to put on there. If you have some mono in the mix or some fluorocarbon, 7.5 feet, and it has a little bit of a softer tip, which takes up some of that shock absorber effect, so that you don't put too much strain on your line. But then it's got a heavy backbone, and that's going to be for bait or jigs targeting fish anywhere from 25 pounds up to 100 pounds. It would certainly land a fish bigger than that, but that's when you're targeting that kind of fish, and roughly 50-pound test, even 60 is kind of where you're wanting to fish. that is such a perfect setup for that reel.
It's always funny when Doug's on here. Anytime somebody asks a question, I always think in my mind, he said he's got a Talica 12 and looking for a new rod. The first thing my mind went to was like, I'd do an 875 heavy graphiter. And then I wait, and sure enough, Doug's like, I think I do an 875 H graphite. That's such a great rod for it, Daniel. I couldn't agree more. I love that thing.
And, there you go. Honestly, we have 10 other rods in the shop that would do that job.
Totally.
And so that's why we like to, if possible, interact with you in person. Because everybody has a little different situation. I mean, maybe your closet in your apartment won't fit a 7.5 foot rod, or maybe your boat doesn't have, you've got to go to a 7 foot rod, or, maybe for whatever reason you end up wanting an 8 foot rod, or maybe you want a reel seat, or maybe you want a cork handle. So there are other rods that'll do the job, but that is just the quintessential perfect rod for that reel.
With that said, when you come in, you're going to pull on one of those Loomis Inshore Pros. You're going to pull on a UC Delmar. You're going to pull on that Graphiter. You're going to pull on a Seeker 6470. You're going to, there's half a dozen rods by a bunch of great manufacturers that will all be right. And, the right rod for Doug might not be the right rod for Daniel. So when you come in, or when you come to the PCS show, you're going to pull on all of those different rods and see what feels most comfortable, and then you're going to walk away making, what's the right decision for you, not the right decision for somebody else.
There you go. I just got confirmation from Bill DePriest that it is indeed true. Okay. Mike Bond will be here with him next Sunday.
All right.
So there you go.
I like it.
All right.
Good to know. Hey, when we
guilted him into it.
When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. A whole lot more questions with Doug. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the My Dear 1090 ESPN Radio.
Hey, we're so lucky here in San Diego. We have fantastic weather and great fishing. We also have 3 great shops to take care of anglers. Hi, this is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay. We call it the one-stop shop for a great day on the water because it truly is. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. Our tackle shop, headed by Johnny, is certainly one of the best. We have you covered from bay bass to big tuna. Plus, we have Doug, one of the finest reel repair guys around. For freshwater tackle, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. Jeet and the guys have the best rod and reels, the hottest lures, and live bait. Our newest shop is Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, growing their stock of both fresh and saltwater tackle right in the heart of Lemon Grove. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, 94 to Broadway in Lemon Grove. And Dana Landing is next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay. Check danalanding.com for more details.
Hello, anglers. This is Tim with Friends of Rollo, and we are kicking off the new year with another great promotion. Bill Batson and his team have once again donated 6 amazing custom rods that you could be fishing with this season. These rods are all one of a kind and built with rain shadow rod blanks and Alps rod components. Captain Rollo's will be giving away these beautiful works of art in the Batson booth at the PCS show on March 10th. Entering the drawing is easy. When you buy 5 $10 Rollo Grand Raffle tickets, you will get 1 entry into the Batson Custom Rod Drawing. To purchase tickets, please email win@rollokids.org or call Tim at 951-264-7382. Our thanks go out to Batson Enterprises for once again making this promotion possible. Thank you to everyone for your support of the Rollo program, and good luck.
Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters. 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com.
Safe travel should always include travel insurance. This is Bob Dawson at Dawson & Associates. We offer many different plans, from one-year plans to single-trip plans. Traveling twice or more a year, an annual plan will cover most every trip that you make. Also, if you get injured on a trip, it'll fly you back home or fly you to a hospital of your choice, and it's worldwide coverage once you're 100 miles from home. So call me at 619-990-3068 or go to safariglobaltravel.com.
There you go. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Phones are absolutely packed solid. If you want to get your chance, still plenty of time to get through. 213-432-1090, or keep those texts coming to the Let's Talk Hookup app. Giving away a full-day trip on board the Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing and 2 tickets to the upcoming PCS show at the OC Fairgrounds in Costa Mesa, March 7th through the 10th.
Yeah, you have a good text there, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was certainly a fun text. It says, hey, Doug, I got my countdown going. Only 36 more Saturdays until Tackle Day.
Yeah, well, we better start planning
November
it right
2nd,
now then.
Right?
November 2nd.
November 2nd.
Save the date.
I wonder who that's from.
I know exactly who that's from. Although she did not identify herself, that's from Dallas, my wife, and that is how our scheduling always happens in the shop. But internally, we always talk about, hey, we've got 4 more weekends until we pack the truck, and
that's it.
36 more Saturdays. Got that fine.
Hey, I have a great text from Dan in West Covina, and he says, "Good morning, Doug, Pete, and Rick. Question for Doug: I've gotten to appreciate the fine setup of pre-tied fluorocarbon leaders, especially the pre-tied 200-pound fluorocarbon leaders at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle Shop. That I pick up before I go bluefin fishing. Will you have other pre-tied fluorocarbon leaders in different weight classes available at the upcoming PCS show?"
We won't. The most popular leader that we sell is about a 2-foot, 200-pound test with a number 9 owner split ring and a swivel on the other end, or a ring to tie onto.
Gotcha.
And to try and make every particular leader that somebody could possibly use, we do that in the shop all the time.
Right.
Hey, I need 5 leaders that are 100-pound test, and I need it to be this size split ring or whatever. We'll do anything custom on the spot when you're getting ready to leave on your trip. But to try to predict what leaders people might want at the PCS, it's just not feasible. But so many of the people that are going to use those leaders are going to be doing it on our boats, and if they're not comfortable crimping or tying their own leaders, please rely on us for that, because that's a mission critical thing for us. I mean, we do not want anybody to lose even one bluefin this year. So
now what about wind-on leaders? Now, AFCO makes such a great line of wind-on leaders. You going to have wind-on leaders there?
We don't. We sell a lot of wind-ons in the shop, but usually that's because we're filling somebody's reel, and
then you top it off.
We'll either splice in a piece of fluorocarbon, or we'll put a wind-on leader on. But we don't, it takes up a lot of room, and they just don't sell well at a show. People just aren't there looking for that. They're looking for rods and reels and, oh my God. Fluorocarbon. And the blanks that we're going to have, they want to spend their money on something more like that than a housekeeping thing like a leader.
Right. Gotcha. All
That's
right.
it.
Well, let's jump into the phones, Rick.
You got it, buddy. Packed up, they certainly are. Mike from Rosemead is up next here on Let's Talk Hookup. Hi, Mike. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for picking up my line. Doug, I've kind of tapped out on all the tackle that I need anymore. I don't do as much fishing as I used to, and trying to thin out my stock. But on your coming up sales, I'm more looking into just clothing, actually. Extra T-shirts, maybe a sweatshirt or two. What I really need is a new pair of deck boots, because mine are too tight and very uncomfortable halfway through my fishing trip.
That is
so
not
can you kind of give me a rundown on what you got available?
The only clothing that we're going to have available is going to be through AFCO, and it's going to be, pants and jackets for the most part, but also, I don't even know what inventory they're planning to bring. But
maybe their deck boots.
But I
love their deck boots.
Yeah, it's possible that they'll have deck boots, but I can assure you, at the PCS show, you are going to find everything you want in the form of clothing, from probably a $10 T-shirt to a $600 set of unbelievable foul weather gear. there and everything in between. The show is small enough that you can get through it, and see everything pretty quickly enough. So I would just have that on your radar and hit up some of the booths that specialize in those items, and you'll come away with something pretty cool, I'm sure.
There you go.
Well said.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, with that said, we kind of hinted at it. We've talked about it. Now it's time to find out exactly what happened. We have Carl from Fisherman's Landing on the line right now. And Carl, is it true? Has local bluefin fishing officially started?
Mike on the Pacific Dawn. He saw a pretty good sign down there. First of all, good morning, everyone. He ended up with 6 bluefin from 15 pounds to 70 pounds. He left Friday night. He saw a pretty good sign on his way down the beach, so he decided to try to stop and fish for a little while. He did capture one nicer bluefin on the a knife jig there. He said he saw about 3 or 4 good schools for the amount of time he fished. Then after that, he went into the beach and caught limits of reds and rockfish, and he made about an hour move and found some more bluefin out there. And that was all school-sized fish, but he said there was a lot of it down there. I'll show you guys on the Fish Finder what he took a video of there. We posted it on the website there, or on the Instagram there. But a very good sign of fish there. We got another trip leaving Wednesday night. Hopefully we just added that trip up there, so we're hoping we could get out there and get back on this fish again, keep it located, and get the season going.
I loved the tenacity of, because you want to get down to the zone, because a lot of times the yellowtail at Collinet, it's a first thing in the morning, so you want to get down there quick. But I love the tenacity that Mike had of, that guy really, really likes catching bluefin tuna. And to stop on your way down to commit that amount of time, it shows that. And I thought it was really cool that he did that. And then, you caught a tuna, and then, in the morning they went in, they caught limits of trip. Well, now the trip's a success, to then burn the time and the fuel to then go back offshore and continue to try and catch those things, and then find them, and then to get it done is really cool. And, hats off to those guys for trying so hard to make that happen. And then succeeding in it. It's just awesome.
For sure.
Everything about that's cool.
Carl, how far was that stuff?
It was within day and a half range, not quite an overnight, but it was 90 miles, he said.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so definitely within day and a half range. We added a day and a half for this Wednesday, then the following week we put up a 2.5-day trip up there. The 2.5-day trip will be strictly offshore fishing bluefin. He saw a good grade, there's been rumors of that fish, call it 80 to 150 pound fish in that same zone from the airplane that was up, I guess, for the Mexican fishermen that these guys heard rumors of. So he's going to go look for it.
Nice.
So in about a week and a half or so.
That's cool, man. I dig it.
How do we book a trip if we want to go, Carl?
Fisherman'sLanding.com, or give us a call at 619-221-8500.
And how many people? I mean, that's one thing that Dawn has kind of always specialized. It's kind of lighter load, go catch the big ones, not a lot of people.
Yeah, it's 18 people. It's $500. That includes your visa and your Mexican permits. So it's a good deal, Mike is a never give up type of guy. He fishes really hard. If you've ever fished with him, he's gung-ho about this, and he loves what he does, and it shows.
I'll tell you one thing, he never comes home on time.
No.
That's damn sure. If they say the trip comes back at 6 a.m., do not plan anything for 6:30, because he won't be there.
So, and I want to throw out something here, too, that yesterday we talked about that all-inclusive type of thing with Rosie at Sage Sport Fishing, and you got to watch the prices, because a lot of guys, times you see a cheaper price, but it's plus permits, plus this, plus that.
Totally.
This is an all-inclusive trip, right?
I think
your meals are extra on the boat. You just pay as you go type of deal, but your visas and your permits are included.
Yeah,
I think with this,
but you just pay as you go.
People are not worried as much about the price. They want to go on a boat that they have confidence in.
Gotcha.
So this is definitely one of those.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, thanks, Carl. Appreciate that exciting breaking news here on Let's Talk Hookup. The bluefin are biting.
All right, you guys have a great day.
All right,
thanks, Carl.
Thanks a lot for that. Appreciate that very much. Hey, I have a great text here from John, Huntington Beach. He says, "Hey, Doug, I can't wait to see your booth at the PCS show. Are the new Shimano upgraded Talicas available yet? Do you still sell albacore feather jigs?"
The albacore feathers have been tough to get because Zucker was the main company that was making those, and the bags of feathers went from almost nothing to way too expensive. So Zucker kind of pivoted, and good for them to stay in business. And they're supplying commercial fleets with the grass type skirt jigs. With that said, there is a distributor that's going to be carrying those. And so we will have the Zucker, like the zucchini and the Cocoa Puff and the blue and white and red and white and the bluefin special, all of those jigs. We'll have those in stock. But the feathers, we have to get those overseas made, and they're not as pretty, they're not as nice. They work just as well, but they're not the quality look of what a Zucker was. And then when you said the new Talica, which one are you referring to?
Probably the 12 and 16A.
Oh, okay. I guess to me that's not new anymore. I'm like, am I behind the times? Yeah. So they did upgrade to just the 12 and the 16 size. So there will be the other models coming out 2 each year. If everything goes well, we should see I believe the bigger ones at ICAST, hopefully, and maybe out by the end of this year, beginning of next year, and then the 2 smaller sizes, 8 and 10, the following year. I believe that's the order that those are coming out. So, yeah, everything we're receiving now in a 12 and a 16 is the new Talica A.
And will they be on sale at the PCS show?
Yep. Every reel in our booth will carry a discount and will also come with free Spectra.
Free Spectra?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is like the deal.
Wow. So a discount on the reel and free Spectra?
Yes.
Can you put Power Pro?
Yeah, we have a ton of Power Pro that we've already packed, and as well other brands. We have, obviously Shimano fills reels as well, right. But they won't have the variety that we will. So
can you put offshore on it?
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Colored lines.
Yes.
Wow.
Everything goes.
Wow.
It's going to be
like worth. I mean, you fill a big reel.
Yeah, it's over $100.
It's over $100.
Sometimes approaching $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
no, this is the time to buy your.
Yeah, you get a high dollar reel. You could be seeing a very significant discount and a couple $100 worth of line even. This is for sure. This is the real deal.
Yeah. Hey, let's jump back on the phones.
That sounds great. How about this time we talk to Chuck? Chuck's calling us from Dana Point. Good morning, Chuck. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, guys. Wealth of knowledge here. Great stuff. The G. Loomises, are you guys bringing those? Are they going to be the new offshore ones on sale? And then another thing I have trouble finding is the bigger packs of the Gamakatsu number 2s. Remember, Rick, last year we came up and you said, no, they're gone.
25 packs. Right?
What, I got to get there on Thursday? Yeah. Go ahead.
Both of those items we do not have at the show, and for no particular reason other than we do have limited space, and in particular with the CalStars being available again, we wanted to commit a lot of dollars and a lot of space to that. We are bringing the Terramar rods by Shimano, and we just don't have the offshore G. Loomises.
The space for those.
And as well,
you can't bring the whole tackle store.
Well, we can't.
So let me ask you this. Gamakatsu always has a great booth at the show,
yes,
offering special incentives. Are there deals on Gamakatsu hooks?
Not through us.
Okay.
But he will be able to find Gamakatsu, I'm almost sure. Another, call it strategy, call it reality, there's 5 buildings of fishing tackle manufacturers, and each retailer is in a different building. And so we've tried to align ourselves in part with the manufacturers that are in our particular building.
Gotcha.
Now, of course, Shimano's in a different building. Of course, we're going to carry Shimano. But it doesn't make as much sense for us to carry a product that we know darn well is in another building with a retailer right next door to them. It's harder for them to walk into our building for a pack of hooks. But to buy a Talica reel, heck yeah.
Yeah.
They'll come seek us out for that. We have our loyal customers, and they're going to seek us out for the rod and reel purchases.
Because like I said, you can't bring the whole tackle store.
No, we can't.
But you bring a lot.
We bring a lot.
Trust me, it's tough. I mean, it's the what not to take is a whole lot harder than the what to, for sure. But it's been a lot of fun. Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including finding out who's going fishing on board the Liberty and getting 2 tickets to PCS show. More Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
The PCS show is coming, and we will have an awesome display at the show. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Check us out in the wildly popular saltwater building at the PCS show at the OC Fairgrounds in Costa Mesa, where we will feature the Shimano lineup of rods, reels, and lures, like Talica reels, Terramar rods, and the Hot Current Sniper lures. And as always, our expert staff will help you select that perfect Shimano setup for the fish you want to pursue. For saltwater tackle at the PCS show, your best shop is the Fisherman's Landing Tackle Booth. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet. Fisherman's Landing offers half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the Liberty. Many trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
In San Diego, the future belongs to everyone. So Ford engineered the truck of the future for everyone, the Ford F-150, available with a Pro Power onboard generator. What a great addition for anglers. There's also a variety of cab configurations for whatever you need to haul. The truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's created for us who love the ocean and the outdoor life. Ford F-150. Test drive one at your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day trips on the Daily Double and full-day trips on the Mission Bell every day. Perfect for novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips on the American Angler, Vagabond, Intrepid, Independence, Loan, T-Bird, Game Changer, and more. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com where you can purchase tickets online. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
I got a garage full of fishing tackle, and every time I get out on the water, I realize I forgot something important. But I never forget my life jacket. I make sure my buddies wear theirs, too. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. All right, Doug's going to do us the honor, flip the prize coin, see who we got, a text caller or texter. Today we have a caller. So we have Mike in Rosemead. Congratulations, Mike. You got yourself a full-day trip on board the Liberty, and you're going to the PCS show with 2 tickets. Congratulations.
Wow, congratulations. Doug Kern, Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Of course, you guys are here at Fisherman's Landing. The season is officially begun.
Yep, we've got great fishing going on. We've got the PCS show coming up in less than 2 weeks, and it's going to be a great show. We've been packing boxes and lowering prices for the last month and a half, and so we hope to see everybody there. Stop by the booth and say hi to myself and the crew, and have a great time there. And then we should be up and running here on this bluefin thing. So better get your reels filled with new line and make sure that you got your tackle box organized.
Well, fantastic. It's going to be great, and we're really excited. And you have, like, a lot of stuff that you didn't talk about today you'll have there.
Yeah, I mean, it's every category, and the pricing is about as spectacular as we've ever done, so it's going to be a great show. We're finally back in the blank business. You couldn't get blanks for a while. We've got all the top name brands and at very attractive prices, so if you're a custom rod builder or you've got somebody that builds rods for you, great place to pick up some blanks.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then don't forget, there will be a Rollo booth at the show. You can take advantage of that custom rod giveaway that they're doing, as well as buy some raffle tickets there.
Yeah, you got to buy some raffle tickets. I mean, even if there was no chance of winning anything, support the kids. But I mean, good God, the prizes are spectacular.
It's amazing. And Mike Langham and Tim Baker, who've been working so hard, will be there in that Rollo booth.
Yeah,
so
I mean, we've said it before. You can't say enough about those two guys. We appreciate so much what they do for the industry and for for Rollo, and they're just great guys.
Great stuff. Hey, Doug, thanks a lot for that, and thank you very much to JP for manning the busy phones today and the board, and thanks to Adam for all he does on that Let's Talk Hookup app. Next Saturday, Bob and Charmel from Katmai Lodge will be here to talk about one of the greatest places on earth to go fishing. And then next Sunday, you heard it, it's true, Bill DePriest and Mike Bond will be here from the PCS show. Thanks for listening today, and thank you out there for all your texts and your calls, and we'll see you next week right back here on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio and the Let's Talk Hookup app.